Welcome to American Homestead, podcasting live from deep within the Ozark Mountains at an elevation of 2,250 feet, actually. It's great to be back. It is 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, and we're going to have a fun show tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about cheese and all kinds of tips and tricks on how to make great cheese. My lights are not on. I just realized that I did not turn my lights on. Those lights are on. That light's on. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's on. I got like 2 lights to turn on. 1 second. Hold on. I'm like totally unprepared. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, we're gonna have a fun show tonight, talking all about cheese. And of course, when you have cheese, you gotta have some wine. So I got a good Pinot Grigio, Italian Pinot that we're gonna open up and check that out. Let's see over at the chat how everything's going. Our lights out. Do you have to boil raw milk? Yes, of course. That's how you make. You don't have to boil it, but you have to heat it up for sure. Hello from Joplin, Missouri. Everyone in the chat room, tell me where you're at, where you're tuning in from, so I can give you a call out. I appreciate it. Seeing lots of people jumping in here. So we're going to talk about cheese tonight. When I talk about cheese, there are always complaints that come in and people who say, well, I can't make cheese. I've tried this. They get really frustrated with it. And one of the things that they always say about their cheese is that many times is that it's squeaky. The cheese is squeaky. Why is the cheese squeaky? There's a reason for that. You don't want squeaky cheese. You know, my cheese is not squeaky. So there's something that you definitely need to do to not have squeaky cheese. So South Carolina, I see tuning in. Chat room, it's like what day is today? It's like Thursday. Now here we are. Now they're rolling in. Kentucky, Central Florida, Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Is from Natalie. Hot Arizona, 100 degrees today. Burleson, Texas. Burleson, I don't know where that is either. When people do a massive weight gain mission, raw milk is awesome. Massive weight gain mission? I don't know. I mean, I love raw milk. My kids have been raised on raw milk, and some people get really put off by raw milk. They get really freaked out. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna die of some strange disease." My kids have been drinking raw milk their entire lives. Joshua, my oldest, was raised, as a baby on goat's milk. All of my kids, both my kids have been raised. In fact, they'll turn their nose up at store-bought milk. They can't stand store-bought milk. If you give it to them, they'll drink it and be like, what is this? Northwest Arkansas tuning in, East Tennessee, Tulsa, Mocaine, Missouri, Rockford, Michigan, Northern California, another one from Michigan, South Mississippi, Australia, ich bin ein Australian. It's funny, a German Australian. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about cheese, and I'm gonna go through some of the tips and tricks because there are some tips that you really need to know to make good cheese. Let's just start off first with the squeaky cheese. If you have squeaky cheese, it means you have not gotten all of the whey out of your cheese. You basically still have curds. So, was it Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and whey? Whey is the liquid. Curds are the cheese, but it's not cheese yet. Curd still has whey in it. And you take the curds and you squish the curds and you squeeze the curds and then you turn the heat back up on the curds and then you melt all the curds together into a clump and then you stretch and pull the curds until it's cheese. So if your cheese is squeaking, it means it's not cheese yet. That's pretty simple. You have to stretch that cheese and people will say, well, Zach, I have a hard time stretching my cheese. I can't stretch my cheese. It doesn't stretch very well. It just never does. That's because you're not getting your cheese or your curds hot enough. You must heat your curds. It should be barely enough. It should be so hot that you can barely touch it. That's what it should be. You should barely be able to touch it. And if you have a hard time with that, you need to be like how I am and gloves. See, gloves. I have these, and not just these cheap, there's cheap, really thin, cheap gloves that they have at, I'm not going to put these on right now. You can buy at the store, but these are they're more thicker material. It's kind of nice, soft inner materials, real soft material inside there. So it's real comfortable to wear. My hands don't sweat in these. And they're really easy to clean. And so spend some money and it's not a lot of money. It's like $5-10 maybe for a good set of gloves that you can get hot. You can handle hot cheese. I mean, I get it so hot where I can barely hold them with this stuff. And this is a good pair of gloves, but I would never be able to hold the cheese with just my bare hands. So you need to be able to have some gloves that you can really pick up some hot cheese with and be able to stretch that cheese out. And that stretching and pulling and squeezing, all that's doing is getting every single ounce drop of whey out of your curds. Thus, it becomes cheese. So if your cheese is squeaking, it's because it's not cheese. What it comes down to, bottom line. So that is something that I have to refer people to often. Get some gloves and pull and stretch your cheese until it's basically the satin. It's like one big gooey piece, and then you can mold it, and then you start adding ingredients in. Now, another thing people don't do that I think they ought to, and this is one of my jars of salt here. So this jar of salt is. I had this salt here. It's just plain white table salt, not iodized salt, just regular kosher salt, whatever. And you can use that salt when you've basically heating up your cheese. So you've got your curds and whey inside your main boiler, your main pot, and then you take those curds and you're going to squish them and stretch them, and then you're going to put them inside another pot of water that's almost boiling hot water, and you're going to leave it in there for a few seconds and then pull it out. And then stretch it, and then put it back in, and then pull it out, and stretch it, put it back in. And that water of that pot needs to be salt water, okay? Salt water. And what that's going to do is give your cheese just a more cheesy flavor. If you just have cheese without the salt, you don't salt your cheese. People are like, oh, I don't like salt. I don't want salt in my cheese because they're worried about their heart problems or whatever. I don't buy into the whole nonsense that salt causes heart problems. I just don't. I think it's sugar. Americans are addicted to sugar. And salt is something that your body needs. Okay. And so it's what you use for all foods for a preservative. It's natural preservative. I'm not going to get into all that rabbit trail. All I'm saying is that you put the salt in that water so that cheese is sitting in there when it's heating up. And so that you're stretching it, put it back in that salt water, pull it out after, 30 seconds and stretch it again. And then you're going to, all that's doing is taking that salt into that cheese, and it's going to give you a more flavorful cheese. You can't taste the salt in the cheese. You shouldn't be able to taste the salt in the cheese. I put maybe about, maybe 3 tablespoons of salt in my cheese water that I'm heating up to stretch my cheese with. So maybe 3 tablespoons, maybe 4 you could do. But your cheese will still not taste like salt. It will not be salty. It's just going to give a better flavor to that cheese. So that's a big tip. And most people don't realize that when a lot of these cheesemakers, when they make them commercially or even artisan cheeses, they're soaking their curds in saline, in salt water. Okay, that's what they're doing inside the factories. They're soaking that, and because it gives just a better cheesy flavor. It's not salt that's going you don't taste the salt. It just gives it a more intense flavor for the cheese, and it's the flavor that you love so much. So there you go, right there. I've already solved 2 big issues for you: more flavorful cheese and no squeaky cheese. Better flavor, no squeak. Okay. So before we get any, we're going to do some taste testing here in a minute. So I'm going to open up this bottle of Pinot. If you don't know what this is wine key, wine opener, bottle opener, whatever you want to say. It's cork opener. So we're just going to open this up right on camera. And basically, if you don't know how, you basically run the cork in there, right? And you pull this down, pull that down, and then pull up. And up comes the cork. Like that. Hear that pop? Smells good. Citrusy. It's good. Good acidity. Good acidity. Okay. So it's a Pinot Grigio 2017 from Italy. And the cheese tonight, we are going to be taste testing, or I will be taste testing. I made this one time before, but this one I kicked it up a little bit of a notch. So we're going to try ourselves some pepper jack. And so let me see if I can see this on camera here real quick. Okay, so this is the pepper jack cheese right here, okay? And it's kind of like in the shape of a cupcake because that's the mold that I use. I took it out of the mold a minute ago. So I put it in these molds right here. I just took it out. So I mold them in those little jars, in those little cups, those glass cups. And so I put the hot cheese in there. Now this one's got pepper flakes in it. And so what's inside this are these pepper flakes right here. So I just got, like the kind of pepper flakes you put on a pizza or something like that. Same, just red pepper flakes, a little bit of spice in them. Not too bad. I love spicy foods. I love spice. So this is not that bad. Just a little bit of spice in my opinion. For some people, this might be a lot of spice. But for me, it's not a lot of spice. But I put a good helping. I mean, you can see all the flakes all throughout there. And it's kind of bright. Let me see if I can turn that down. It just seems really bright. Huh. Hold on. That's all right. Can you see that better? The pepper flake. There's flakes all throughout that. See that? So this has been sitting in my cooler for about 2 days. Let me turn it back on. And it's got pepper flakes in it. But also, I took it up a notch. And I added a couple good dashes of Melinda's creamy style ghost pepper wing sauce. So I put about, 3 or 4 splashes, good sized splashes of this on the cheese. And how I do that is what I'm doing is I'm stretching that cheese. I kind of stretch it out into like I'm going to make a pizza dough, with it, where I stretch it out into like a round thing. I just let it sit on my hand there in this big old round pizza dough like shape of cheese. And then I just take the flakes and I just shake it all on there. And then I wrap it up and I put it back in the boiling water and I stretch it, and back in the boiling water, stretch it. And then maybe I'll do that again. I'll flatten it out, pull it and stretch it, flatten it out, lay it on my hand, and then just pour some more flakes on it. I did that twice, I think. And then one time I pulled out that same shape and then splash, some Melinda's creamy style ghost pepper wing sauce. Now I don't remember where I got this, if I bought this or if someone gave it to me. But it's got 5 flames, so it's pretty hot. It is hot. It's no joke. It's hot. It's gonna be spicy. Now, I did that. I think it's gonna taste really good. We'll see. But I think I'm gonna try something else coming up, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's go ahead and take a slice out of this and just do a quick taste test. See how spicy it is. So you can see there's definitely pepper flakes in there. No squeaky. Oh yeah. That's definitely got some heat to it. Now I love spicy food. I love pepper jack. I love spicy cheese. I don't think there's anything I don't like spicy. I don't think. I mean, I don't like sweet. I don't like sweet and savory mixed foods. I'm just sorry. I'm just not like that. There's some people I know who love that stuff, but I'm not one of them. I like my savory, my sweet. I'll have ice cream after my meal. So that's really good. It's really definitely spicy. Let me have just one more slice. Come on, just a little bit. I'm not going to eat it all on camera, I promise. Okay. So what I'm going to do next time, I was in the store, and I'm like one of those guys who just walks around the store and I just look at things, the grocery store. I'm like, what do they got new here? What's interesting? And so I went to, where did I get that at? So there's a place called, what's it called? It's a co-op. Arkansas Growers or something. It's down there in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I forgot the name of it. Ozark Natural Growers or Ozark Natural Foods. Ozark Natural Foods. It's a co-op. You can join for a membership. You don't have to be a member to shop there, but they give you some discounts on some things if you are. And I love looking around there because they have lots of organic foods, lots of just healthy, selections. And I saw this hot sauce with truffles. And I'm like, I've never had a truffle, but I've had truffle flavored things before, and I think it tastes pretty good. I love mushrooms. I'm a mushroom fanatic. I do my own shiitakes and oyster mushrooms and things like that. And so black truffle infused hot sauce, and it's made, it says here, with red chili peppers and black truffle oil and black truffle essence. I can't wait. I haven't even opened the bottle to taste it yet to see just what it tastes like. So I'm going to wait on that. But I think the next time I make cheese, I'm going to make the black truffle infused hot sauce into the cheese. See, when you're stretching your cheese and you're pulling your cheese, that's the time you want to add whatever ingredients. You can add different flavors like garlic, different spices, herbs, whatever you want to put into that cheese. That's the time to do it when you're stretching the cheese. And so you stretch it, throw in your ingredients, fold it all up, stretch it some more, put it back in the water, gets it all hot again, stretch it some more. And then once you feel like it's good and stretched and you've gotten all of that whey out of your cheese, you can then put it into molds and then, put them in the fridge or put them in whatever. So that way, then you've got all of your ingredients in your cheese. So that's my tips and tricks for tonight. I wanted to just drop in here and, give me an excuse to open up a bottle of wine and try some cheese with you guys and just show you, because really this is something that comes up a lot. Zach, my cheese is squeaky. Well, there you go. If you stretch your cheese enough, you won't have squeaky cheese. Let's head over to the comments and see what's going on. Wow, it's bright, so bright red. Yeah, isn't that bright red? It looks good. I think it's just the lighting. It doesn't look so bright, off camera as it does on camera, it seems like. But interesting. Need prayers to move out of California. Everyone needs prayers to move out of California. Just don't come here and vote like they vote there. Okay, I appreciate that. Everyone appreciates that. You can come here, just don't vote like they vote here, please. I hear you. No sweet and savory. Yeah, I can't do the sweet and savory. It's just I don't know why. I'm just not. I can't get into that. No one taught me how to make cheese. Well, someone had to teach me how to make cheese. But now that I know how to make cheese, I can make good cheese. And it's like anything, you get better with it as it goes. That sauce looks delicious. Love ghost pepper seasoning. I love ghost pepper. We have ghost pepper powder at the table. It's one of our condiments. I love spice. I have a bottle of Melinda's ghost pepper sauce. A few drops go a long way in a bowl of noodles. Well, trust me, what I put in that cheese was a lot more than just a few drops. Yeah, wow. Truffle and hot sauce sounds amazing. It does sound amazing. You bet I marinate my chicken with garlic, ginger, salt, and a little bit of lime juice and yogurt for at least 2 hours. Wow. Praying for anyone with such noble goals, Valerie. Oh, yeah, for moving out of California. Come to the penal colony of Australia. Everyone is welcome. Australia sounds nice, but you can't own guns in Australia. I don't know what I'd do with all my guns. And it's like, I can't move anywhere without my guns. If you move there, you should. It's like, I'm not leaving my children behind. I'm not leaving my guns behind either. If you move there, you should not vote for 5 years while you adjust to rational thought. It's funny stuff. All right, guys. So tell me, what are your favorite cheese flavors? Let's start off with cheese flavors. Let me know what love that wine opener. Isn't that a nice wine opener? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 of these wine keys. Sometimes, when I'm a part of certain wine clubs, and usually every time you join a wine club, they send you a wine key. This one, I actually bought this one at a wine store, and it was a little bit higher quality than some of the cheap ones they send you, for being a member of the wine club. So I definitely like this one the best. But I've got a number of these, and a lot of them are good. Some of them are kind of made cheap, but this one's made really well. I like this one a lot. And I like the Italian wines. I really, really want to visit the Piedmont region of Italy. I would love to visit that and taste some of their Barolos that they have there. They're amazing. I've never had one because they're too expensive. I just can't spend that kind of money on a bottle of wine. But the Barolos from the Piedmont region of Italy sound amazing because they're very high in tannin. And I love a good tannin in my wine. Smoky or herb, yeah. So we've done this before too. We basically make our cast of our cheese, and then we'll hang these inside of a cheesecloth in our cold smoker, and we'll hang it in there for 4 or 5 hours, and that will produce a really nice, tasty, smoky cheese. So, hello from House Springs, Missouri. Hello, House Springs, Missouri. Gouda. I love Gouda. So that's the thing. I really want to learn how to make more of these provolone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Mr. Matt was up putting our door on our wine cellar today. I know we haven't had an update for the wine cellar recently, but a lot of people have been asking. Usually every time I do a live stream, people are asking, "Hey, so what's up with the wine cellar?" And it is being worked on. We're working on that, and we got the door on. We just haven't had a lot of work. He's been working on another over at Shalom Makers. Chris Haas. A lot of you guys know his channel or on YouTube. He's been over at his place working on some stuff, and so Chris Haas finally let him go and allowed him to come back and work on my stuff. And so he got the door on today. It looks fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing. And we're going to keep sharing his information and his business information to you guys coming up as time goes on. So, yeah, we'll share all that. So you show you guys some of the amazing things he does over at his workshop. But he's got the door on, and cheese is one of the things I want to be able to age in there at some point. Once I get the wine in there and other canned goods and all of our pantry items in there, I would like to be able to age cheese. And brie, I really want to learn how to make brie. And so I've been kind of looking at videos here and there on YouTube and just learning how that process is. Really, this is very simple. Cheese is simple. It's curds. It's rennet, it's the milk, it's the rennet, and it's some salt, and cheese is very simple to make. It's just how that is aged, how it's put together, how it's made into cheese is always different. But I'm really interested in learning about some of these different cheeses, and Gouda is another one. Gouda for sure. I like let's see here. I never liked mini soft cheeses until an apprentice chef we had $150 a wheel French blue cheese on the menu. I can't remember its name, but it was awesome with Quince paste jelly. I don't know what Quince is. I don't know what that is. Any cheese is a good cheese so far for me anyway. There's some cheeses out there that they're kind of crazy. But I do love the soft cheeses like brie. I love the brie. There's some other soft cheeses that I'd really love to try too. Me too. Love all cheese except blue cheese. I like blue cheese. I like blue cheese. I'm not so big on the dressing. For a dressing, I like Italian, vinaigrette. But I do like blue cheese, like a dip for my celery when I have hot wings. I think that's great. I love blue cheese dip. If it's chunky, I like the chunky stuff. Put back your chicken. Add a spoon of gram masala. It's an Indian spice. Never heard of it. A spoon of turmeric, half a tablespoon of cumin, red chili powder, salt, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Let it cook for 10 minutes. Huh. Are you still doing dried aged meats? Not right now. We'll do some more salamis coming up maybe again this year. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I got away from it, obviously, for the last 2 years, had other things going on, right? So now I definitely do want to do the hard salamis again. Amy says, do you know how long liquid rennet will last on the shelf? Ever use the rennet tablets? Dustin Wells, what's up? Is Dustin Wells just now getting here? Dustin, you're late. So the liquid rennet. I don't know if it'll last. You have to keep it cold, number one. The tablets, I'm not sure if they have a shelf life. I would imagine they do. I don't know that's all processed. What we're going to do here at some point with some of our new baby lambs coming in, I was going to do it earlier this year because I had some male lambs drop, and I was going to do it then, but I decided not to. But I have some other pregnant ewes out there, some sheep, and when they give birth, I will take one of those lambs and I will use it for rennet. You have to use a baby lamb for rennet because it's the enzymes inside of his intestine, or inside of one part of his stomach, because a sheep has 4 parts to its stomach. And it's one of those parts that contains the enzyme that is rennet. And if you take out the stomach and cut out that piece, let it dry, and then cut it into squares or little pieces like this, you can take those little pieces and add that to your raw milk when you make cheese, and it's just the same as having rennet or tablets, the liquid or tablets. It still works, and it's shelf stable. What they did back in the old days, they would take that stomach, cut it up into little pieces, and then they would put it in like a mason jar or something like that. They would dry it, and whenever they needed to add, they just get a few pieces and throw it in the cheese, and that added the enzyme. Or they would throw it in the milk, and that added the enzyme needed to make cheese. I'm going to try this. I have seen it online. I've seen it on YouTube. I have baby sheep. I have raw milk. There's no reason why I can't do this. I should be able to do this. So it's all on my list of things to do. Let's see. Quince is a tree fruit, kind of like a pear. Has some medicinal qualities too. I've never heard of it. Mary says her achicha has germinated great. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. So it tells YouTube that. So I got in trouble last time I did a live stream, as usual. YouTube sent me a warning and said that I had ripped off the song. I was stealing the song. I guess. Hold on, this song right here. That song I play I have in all my videos. And we have all of our season videos that use that music. I bought the license for that song years ago, and they're giving me trouble about it again, saying it's a copyright issue. So I think I'm being limited, and so I contested or appealed what their ruling was, and I haven't heard anything back yet. And they're waiting. I guess everything is in escrow for whatever advertisements come up for these videos, and until that copyright owner supposedly gets back. I mean, I bought a license for this years ago. I still have the license. I should be able to use it in all my videos, but they're giving me trouble. YouTube's just being YouTube. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm wondering if, because I only have I have a lot less viewers normally than I normally do right now, and I think maybe I'm getting dinged because of YouTube, or maybe it's a Thursday night and everyone's just busy doing other things. I doubt it. So anyway. I'm glad your achichas have germinated. That's awesome. I need to get mine in the ground here soon. The robot music police are confused, obviously. Everyone over at YouTube is confused. I mean, have you seen the people over at YouTube? You can get the garam masala at Walmart. Garam masala? Okay, I'll check it out. Ute is always lurking. Yeah. Watching with their all-seeing eye. Yeah, they are. Make a video about the license. What license? What are you talking about, license? Oh yeah, the copyright license. Yeah, the license for the music. I guess I could. I mean, what's the point of complaining about YouTube? I've complained about YouTube all kinds of times, and it doesn't do me any good. All it does is make YouTube angry at me again more. So I can't wait for Lighthouse. I'm really excited about Lighthouse. YouTube is going communist real fast, man. They've been there already. They've been communist already for a long time. All right, so I'm gonna eat some more of this cheese here, because I missed the spice. I'm still doing OMAD. I didn't eat all day, and I had dinner just a little while ago, so I'm counting this as dinner. Very spicy. You can definitely taste Melinda's creamy style ghost pepper wing sauce. It says here, Melinda Foods, Irving, Texas. Obviously, Melinda lives in Irving, Texas. This product is manufactured in a plant that processes eggs, soybeans, and wheat. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I'm pretty sure it's kosher. Yeah. Huh. All right, guys. We'll leave it at that. Go make yourself some cheese. If you have squeaky cheese, it's because you don't yet have cheese. That's why your cheese is squeaking, because it's not cheese. All right. We're going to leave it at that. All right, guys. See you next time in the homestead. Love y'all. Bye.